Welcome to the secret garden of Luma. Here is where the magic never fades. Sit down, relax, and enjoy your tea party. Let's start our adventure. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by mountains that glittered like silver, there was a magical fairy world called Luma. In Luma, the trees glowed softly at night, rivers sang beautiful songs, and the sky sparkled with a magical rainbow of colors. It was a place where dreams came true, and the air tasted sweet like honey. In this fairy world lived a tiny fairy named Lila. Her wings shimmered like rose quartz, and her laughter echoed with the tinkling of bells. While the other fairies loved to dance among the flowers or sing with the birds, Lila's heart yearned for something more. She dreamed of exploring the world beyond the glowing forest and discovering all its secrets. One morning, as Lila opened the door to her mushroom house, she gasped. On her doorstep lay a soft golden feather. "Strange," she whispered. "No bird in Luma has feathers like this. And besides, I saw every bird just yesterday during my flower arranging." Lila carefully tucked the feather under her arm and flew to the Fairy Queen's garden. There, in the center, stood a majestic fountain made of pure starlight. From its depths, an endless stream of sparkling water flowed upwards, reaching towards the colorful sky. Beside the fountain sat the Fairy Queen. Her gossamer wings glittered like 1,000 diamonds, and her eyes twinkled with ancient wisdom. When the queen saw Lila, she smiled. "My little explorer, what brings you to my garden?" "Queen Astra," Lila said softly. "I found this feather. Do you know where it came from?" "It must have fallen from a magnificent bird." "Oh, how I wish I could see it." The queen's eyes suddenly twinkled like distant stars. "Ah, Lila, you have discovered a feather from the celestial phoenix. It only appears once every 1,000 years. If you follow the trail of its feathers, you will find a treasure that will keep Luma's light shining forever." Before Lila could ask any questions, the queen had disappeared and the fountain's waters rippled gently, sending tiny sprays of starlight over Lila's head. Overwhelmed with excitement, Lila raced home to change into her finest traveling dress, a gown that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Then she set off on her journey, following the golden feather that glinted in the sunlight like a tiny beacon. As she flew, the feather led her through fields of moonstones and over babbling brooks until they reached the sparkling river. The river flowed with water so clear that it reflected the sky like a mirror. But to cross the river, Lila had to jump from lily pad to lily pad, and the lily pads were moving around, making it very difficult. Just when Lila almost gave up hope, a tiny voice squeaked. "Need some help?" Startled, Lila looked down and saw a fluffy squirrel with big, bright eyes peering at her from atop a lily pad. "I am Pip," the squirrel said with a smile, "and if you want to cross the river, I know a song that will make the lily pads still so you can jump over safely." So Pip sang a little song, and as soon as he finished the last note, the lily pads stopped moving. "Thank you, Pip," Lila cried happily. "Now I can cross the river." And together they crossed the river and continued their journey. Following a bend in the river, they soon reached a dark cave hidden between 2 tall trees. Inside, strange shadows danced on the walls, and an eerie silence hung in the air. Suddenly, the cave began to shake, and a deep voice boomed. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Startled, Lila and Pip huddled together. "Don't be afraid," whispered an enchanting voice. And from the darkness stepped a firefly with a tail that glowed like a miniature sun. "I am Mira," she said with a smile. "If you need light in the dark, I can help you." With a flick of her tail, Mira lit up the cave, revealing a path that shimmered like a rainbow. "Thank you, Mira," said Lila. "I am so grateful for your help. Where are we going?" After walking a while, they arrived at a wide-open field dotted with the most beautiful flowers Lila had ever seen.
But guarding the flowers was a fierce-looking bunny with sharp claws and teeth.
"Stop!"
he shouted.
"If you want to pass, you must answer my riddle. What has an eye but cannot see?" Before Lila could think of an answer, the bunny continued. "It's a needle." "Ha ha! You lose." As the bunny approached, Lila trembled with fear, but then she remembered the magical gardens back home. Quickly, she picked a brightly colored flower, pulled out its silky center and presented it to the bunny. Here, take this. It has an eye, but it cannot see. The bunny sniffed the flower, and his face softened. Well, I never, he said. You win. I am Bram the Bunny, and I guard these flowers because their pollen brings joy to all who smell them. He hopped aside, allowing Lila to pass. Thank you, Bram, Lila said with a smile, and thank you for the beautiful flower. After crossing the field, they finally reached the top of a mountain. Below them, the world stretched out like a tapestry woven with threads of silver and gold. And in the distance, they could hear the gentle lapping of waves on a faraway shore. And standing before them, magnificent and proud, was the celestial phoenix. Its feathers shimmered with every color of the rainbow, and its eyes shone with ancient wisdom. Gently, the phoenix spoke. Brave fairy, why have you followed my feathers? Lila took a deep breath and answered, Great phoenix, I am Lila, a fairy from the world of Luma. Our fairy world is fading, and I want to bring back its light. The phoenix regarded Lila for a moment, then dipped its head slightly. Because of your courage and kindness, I gift you my eternal feather. With a graceful sweep of her wing, the phoenix touched Lila's outstretched hand with its golden beak. Suddenly, the feather burst into a brilliant light, brighter than 1,000 stars. Recovering from the flash of light, Lila looked at the feather in her hands. It seemed to glow with a light that never faded. Overjoyed, Lila knew that this was exactly what the queen had been looking for. Holding the feather close, Lila returned to the fairy queen's garden. When the queen saw the feather, her eyes twinkled with delight. Oh, my dear Lila, you have found the treasure. Now Luma's light will shine forever. With a wave of her magic wand, the queen placed the feather in the fountain. And as it touched the water, the entire garden exploded in a burst of light. All the flowers, bushes, fountains, and even the sky sparkled with newfound brilliance. From that moment on, the fairy queen shared the light with all the fairies of Luma. The entire world of Luma was filled with happiness. Lila became known as Lila the Brave Explorer, the fairy who followed her heart and saved her world. Every night, the fairies gathered around their glowing homes and told stories of Lila's bravery and kindness. They told how she had followed the magical feather to bring back the light to their world. And now, my little ones, it's time for us to return to the magical world of Luma. We've had such an exciting adventure with Lila today. Thank you for joining us. Remember, no matter how small you are, you can always do something truly magical. Now, close your eyes. Hold on to your magic, and let's fly back to Luma together. See you next time! Bye!